Sylvie tends the bar here, not me. I'm only standing in. She just, you know...
There's something there, and it's not good. That's all you know for now. A competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird looks like the bird was ripped off the shield that was used to mount it, most likely on a wall. Something about it makes you feel bitter.
Look, your buddy is over there. Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating on the bird. A competent work looks like something about it makes you
Look, your buddy, why don't you go and talk to him?
He pretends not to hear you.
Oh no, you're a hero. A real hero cop. Am I? Or did you ride in, take the body down, solve the murder, and not trash my hostel room? Oh, it's not? You're right, it's not.
He has no respect for you personally, but this man sees himself as a law-abiding citizen, and you a representative of that law. He tries to avoid outright. On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of it. You gently shake his shoulder. The man does not mind.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This item is stored in the...
Hello, sweetie. You shouldn't keep your colleague waiting. Hello, you should...
A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. Looks like he's waiting for some... As you approach, he narrows his eyes. If an assault were launched on this building right now, if the windows came crashing down and the whole world descended upon you, this man would hurl himself in death's way to save you. You are sure of this, but why?
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 57. You must be from the 41st.
You realize he is waiting for your name. This is your chance to come up with a really good name for yourself. Get creative. Conceptualize.
It looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually. Have you had time to talk to the manager here? If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown. It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Good. But even if you haven't, we'll have time for... Have you removed the dead body from the tree? Mm-hmm. Does that mean the body is no longer in the tree? Sure. But did you take it down from the tree? So the body is still in the tree.
This is the first time you detect a weariness in the lieutenant's voice. It is obvious he would have preferred for the body to no longer be in the tree,
where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner. Talk to the manager. Then we go out back and take the body down. I was sent here to meet a detective from Precinct 41. You have the insignia of the Citizens Militia on your sleeve and on your back. I suppose you could be impersonating him. You could have gotten the insignia from the black market or forged it. But for now, I'm going to set those possibilities aside. Yes. They are not just white rectangles. They bear a halogen watermark with the letters RCM and a pattern resembling the street grid of Ravache. I would ask you to step into the headlights of my motor carriage. But again, it's none of my concern. I just need you to do your job. You mean you don't have a badge? Oh, if you didn't have your badge, then that would be very bad. You would need to report it on my shortwave. But since you do, we all feel that way sometimes. There is no such... But first, we have to take it down. I can see you drank last night and the night before, and that you are still drunk now. But I have seen officers go through worse. Much worse. If you need something for your headache, there is a general store nearby.
A painkiller would be good about now. The best cure for a headache is, of course, morphine. They won't have that, so cigarettes will have to do.
After you, officer.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party. You can talk to him whenever.
Yes? What do you want to know? Maybe you can tell me what you do know to help me. Do you want me to brief you? 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between a security guard or worker of some sort hired by Wild Pines. This was just here. To find him or her is one of our tasks here. For now, there's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. That's us, the Ravache. Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer. You mean like a brief? There's no reason to wait. 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a rep. During that time, the victim had been stripped of... Okay then. Was there anything else? No, it's not a particularly mysterious case. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that. Then you are in luck, because we are in the midst of a major strike by the dock workers union. Maybe more than that. I expect the case itself to be less challenging than navigating these community matters. This district isn't used to the RCMs. I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
His disdain is clear. This man would not use such an expression otherwise.
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it. Better still than an imbecilic cop-off. It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask later. Was there anything else? Good.
No response. He just arches his...
Have you tried concentrating on something other?
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
Not a fan. It's just the nature of try work, the case at hand. It can work miracles. Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin. Really? You look fine to me. This psychodrama is unbecoming of an officer. Then you should consider seeking medical attention. You can use the radio in my kinema to call your station's Lazareth. Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent. Ah, if you insist. What do you want to know? That's correct.
That makes him a Beano-clad, completely uncopped material, if you say so yourself.
Are they? They are mostly just cumbersome.
You could use a good, normal peer yourself.
That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity and a geographic division. I told you it wouldn't be interesting. You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seoul. I'm a regular Revacholière.
He's glad to have shut down your question.
No.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the eyebrow is exercising psionic control over you.
Something the matter, detective?
This guy's got authority off the charts. With just the flick of his eyebrow, nothing. You better hope he doesn't abuse his authority. There's a lot of it. The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself.
What do you mean? I have no idea what you're talking about. What? Think?
The lieutenant produces his small blue notebook and idly thumbs through. That's where his conversations with himself take place. You're super lucid, yet psychedelic. You don't need office supplies to connect to your nervous system. You're special.
Good. Let's change the subject. Excuse me? Detective, if I may be frank, you seem to...
Oh, so you're an unaccountable wreck who has to be supervised. You don't have to take this display of authority. You can disobey.
That's good. Except that I do, detective. Some you time? This is a police investigation, not a journey of self-discovery. You'll still have your evenings to yourself. Please do. We wouldn't want your regiment to spill over into the investigation. Excuse me? Detective.
Oh, so you're an unaccountable wreck who has...
Except that I do. Some you time? This is a police investigation, not a...
A moment passes. The lieutenant glances at...
Excuse me? Frankly, detective, you're in a deranged state. I can't let you proceed.
The lieutenant thinks you're some
Some you time? This is a police investigation, not a journey of self. You might. It's important not to let one's style interfere with their work.